To further look at the Indian Education for All Essential Understandings, I chose to focus on the extension activity titled Geometric Transformations in Lakota Sioux Star Quilts. I wrote this lesson last semester, and it was intended for grade level 7 to 8, studying the Montana Native American star quilts mainly associated with the Lakota Sioux tribe, and how these star quilts relate to different geometric transformations. So, to identify the Iefa essential understanding in this lesson, I had to think about what this lesson was teaching us about Montana Native Americans. And that most closely resembled Essential Understanding 1, which says, "There's great diversity among the 12 tribal nations of Montana in their language, cultures, histories, and governments. Each nation has a distinct and unique cultural heritage that contributes to Montana, or modern Montana." So I thought this would fit very nicely with looking at Native American star quilts in the Lakota Sioux culture and relating that to some mathematical concepts. Also for this lesson, I thought it fit very well with the Montana K through 12 Math Content Standard 3 for 7th graders. And this standard says that to construct viable arguments and critique the reasoning of others, make conjectures and build a logical progression of statements to explore the truth of their conjectures, construct arguments using concrete reference such as objects, drawings, diagrams, and actions within cultural contexts, including those of Montana American Indians. I thought this fit very well with this lesson. So looking at a couple different resources that we have when we're looking for these Indian Education for All different standards. So on the actual OPI website, I was able to find a mathematics model teaching unit on making a star quilt, which was pretty cool. And looking down here at the essential understanding, it also fit with the essential understanding number 1, as you can see right here. This site goes down to say more about the understandings, the essential questions, some objectives here. So this is a pretty cool tool to find different plans to incorporate this math and these different Native American ideas together. Looking at another resource, I was just searching around on Google and I found this IEFA math resource titled MCPS. So this is like a binder, as you can see up there in the top bar, livebinders.com. So this is like an actual binder of different lesson plans here. So let's just check out one. Grade 5, or let's do grade 4, I'm beading Northern Cheyenne beadwork. So we can just hit that and go down here. And then again, we have a lesson plan on beading and Cheyenne beadwork. And that's pretty cool. And that lists essential understandings as well. So, what are the goals of this lesson plan? How are we going to fully integrate the Indian Education for All into this lesson plan? So, from there, our goals are definitely going to be to introduce students to the concepts of geometric transformations. These are reflections, translations, and rotations. Also, we want students to be introduced to the concept of symmetry, and students will apply these concepts to the geometric configurations of the Lakota Sioux star quilts. As mathematical subject and reasoning becomes more difficult, it is essential for students to understand basic geometric properties. These properties can be used to describe basic understandings in just about everyday life. These geometric transformations can be related to culturally significant objects. So this lesson plan in particular uses James Banks' transformations approach. So it is combining a lesson in mathematics with a culturally significant idea. It's enabling students to relate common math with the real world, which in learning today, this is a huge part of getting students engaged. It's actually taking these math ideas and relating them to the real world. So when they go out into the real world, they can see these mathematical ideas that we've been discussing and teaching in the classroom and see how they're working outside of the classroom, which is very cool. So as a result of this project, looking at fitting these essential understandings into a lesson plan. In math, I think in particular, it's very hard. It's definitely more difficult than getting this done in a social studies or CA classroom. So when I did this project, I definitely learned how to read the essential understandings a lot better. I went through and read each essential understanding and became more familiar with each one and how they relate to different types of lesson plans. I am now better at looking at where they fit, where these essential understandings will be and why they fit into a particular lesson plan. What I'm still a little confused about, and which was great to see that resource on that one website, is actually coming up with lesson plans that involve these different Indian education for all understandings. So I'm going to try to work on finding more lesson plans and different ways to relate these two concepts. So thank you.